Welcome to FFT Open Prime Time, your Week 9 report. I do need to give an apology before I get too far into this. My computer was kind of glitchy when I was recording a video yesterday. My first run through it, this was glitchy again, so we're going to do this run, and if it's still glitchy, my apologies. I don't know why it's glitchy. I will have to work on that in the future. So your top teams in week number 9. Jeremy Warnock, the Shockers, 213.22, crested 200-point number, which has been hard to get to. Montana Division, congratulations, the high score of the week. Brian Davis of Captain Jack Sparrow fame, 190.62 in the Manning division. Carl Foster going deep, 191.5 in the Lombardi division. Shane and Phil round out your 4th and your 5th from the Staubach division and from my own Marino division, respectively. Looking at your best team, Jeremy, as you will not be at all surprised to find out, Joe Mixon was on this roster, 55.1 points, an impressive game. Justin Fields, though, against my Miami Dolphins, right? So played very, very well. 48.72 points. Excellent score from him. And this team also has Devontae Adams. So right there, you're accumulating for the bulk of your points between those three guys. Brian Robinson, just 5 points. Tyler Boyd, 9 points. Eno Benjamin's 3 points. This team had a lot of room for growth. Love the Garrett Wilson start. This team looks like a really good team of players that are really starting to come around. So well done, Jeremy. I'm sure his team will be competitive. Looking at the opposite end of the spectrum, poor Jeff from the Staubach division has a great name, Obi Wandale. I really like that one. Unfortunately, his players didn't play up to the name. Jared Goff, Donta Foreman, Naeem Hines, Khalil Shakir, Michael Pittman, Tyquan Thornton, Kyle Pitts. Yuck. Good thing Josh Palmer was in there leading the way, wasn't it? Evan McPherson, Panthers. As you can tell, Jeff's been hit by bye weeks and injuries. This is not the ideal starting lineup when he started out the year. Not too many guys he drafted to be starters in this lineup. I am sure better days are indeed ahead for Jeff. Closest game of the week, we had our first tie of the year. Jason and Mark from the Staubach division, both tailing 122.34 against each other. Now, Mark held a 21-point lead going into Monday Night Football, but Jason actually had both Lamar Jackson and Devin Duvernay, so he had to like his chances to pull it out. However, they could only get him to a tie. Devin Duvernay only had like a point and a half. Lamar got 19 point something, so didn't work out. And on top of that, Jason lost Romeo Dobbs on the first play of the game. Basically caught that pass, immediately gets tackled, and he's out for the rest of the game and likely for a few weeks. So look, I know ties are frustrating. Both these teams are still inside the top 100, still well on their way to playoff positions, and Jason's actually 17th overall. So look, tough week to get a tie, but these two teams are both in good shape still at this point. Your top 5 this season, look at Brian Smith from that Halos division. He is 9-0. Not the same Brian Smith from our top 5. He is 9-0, the last undefeated team. Brian, I got bad news. The last 2 seasons, the last undefeated team did not win the title. So maybe you can be the first to turn that trick. John Schrull makes a second consecutive appearance in the top 5, jumping from 4th up to 2nd from the Manning division. The leading point score at 14.48 of all the 8-1 teams. Juan in the Moss division hangs tight in 3rd like he was last week. Allen from the White division moves into the 4th spot. And my main man, Derek Earl, after leading this league a couple of weeks earlier in the season, right back in there to the 5th spot, 8-1 with 1,300 points scored. Look at Team Name Tuesday. Azer stat that loss, my friend. I've got a few losses. I'm going to need to Azer stat this last week, friggin' Joe Mixon. I had a couple of close losses. In a lower scoring week like this, too, you can get a lot of these closer games. There are a few Azer stat losses I plan to get rid of. Benton in the Dickerson division. Well done over there. And speaking of our good friend Adam Azer, we have the best ball invitational tournament benefiting St. Jude. Showed you this score last week. Still tight at the top. Jeremy leading the way of 1381. John and Caleb sit in a tie for 2nd, just 17 points back of him. But what I really want to highlight here is look at what name is number 2 on the top week 9 scoreboard. That's right, Adam Azer. And in Division 6, 197 points this week, just 4 off the highly managed team from Division 10. So congratulations, Adam. When I emailed to let him know, he sounded very, very happy, or at least after you sound in email and on a GIF. So hope you all have a great week 10. Do very, very well. Don't play Joe Mixon, and I'll talk to you next week.